Hello.
Hey, Matt.
How are you doing?
Good. What about you?
We're doing all right. Sure, I'll do that.
It's always funny to hear you waking up while it's 5 p.m. here.
Yeah.
I'm having a tea for good measure. Hi, Lisa.
Lisa's on. Sweet. Hey, Lisa.
Hi.
All right. Let's see. I think I should be able to do this and this and this. Okay. Today's the 14th. Yes, today's the 14th. So things are going really well, actually. I set out a tweet yesterday, and I actually set it up as a recurring tweet for this week to point to the new Antidote CLI thing that I talked about last week. Sorry, that's my phone alarm. To point to this post. So hopefully we'll get some additional feedback. I've been reaching out individually to folks, some of which have popped in, some of which have told me they don't have time or something like that, which is fine. But I sort of want to get this into some folks' hands, so I'm posting it publicly now. Not that this wasn't public, but I'm actually going out on Twitter and posting stuff, so I'm doing some outreach now. So that's happening. I figure my goal is to sort of start to think about doing a release by the weekend. This has been out. This has been open for a little bit, and of course, we can always make changes after the release of 0.6.0. That's obviously totally fine. So I figure I'll wait until let's say Friday, and then at that point we'll think about doing the release, and if we get feedback after that, I'll handle that accordingly. Maybe move it to GitHub, whatever we need to do. The bulk of this, obviously, also will go into the docs because I think there's still utility in helping people understand how to download binaries for their platform. And this is the first time I kind of documented that. So I'll effectively copy this into the docs. So yeah, some feedback, and I've already incorporated that feedback. So we'll see where the next week takes us, and then after that, we'll deal with it post release. And then, as I mentioned, 0.6.0 is going well. In fact, I've reset up the PTR site, not as a long-term effort. I think I've talked about this before, but I plan on not having PTR be a thing long term once we have the preview functionality set up, because there won't be a need for it if we do have that. But just to test everything out, I've been building everything on a sub-site, kind of like what we did for the relaunch. It's just that the difference here is the PTR site is powered by the new backend platform, as well as obviously there's been some front end changes to accommodate the changes to the back end, because it's just necessary. So this is just the latest version of all of that. Basically the back end stuff, which was formerly Syringe, now called Antidote Core, and then of course all the changes to the front end that were needed. One of the things that I'm really excited about is this header change. I don't know if I talked about this last week, but
You did.
Okay, good. Yeah, so that looks nice and slick. I'm also this is a new piece of content for the Git lesson, so this isn't published right now. But part 5, effectively, of the Git lesson, I am finishing up now, and that will go out with a new version of the curriculum at the same time. Because as you can imagine, by changing effectively the way the back end works, I have to also update the curriculum to be compatible, because there were quite a few syntax changes to things like the lesson definition and whatnot. I think I mentioned did I mention last week the fact that we're moving away from lesson IDs?
Yes, you did too.
Okay. I reached out to Sean. I had a meeting with Sean from Red Hat last week, and I let him know about the change, and that's fine. He'll update his blog accordingly when I give him the new link. There shouldn't be that many, to be honest. Like I mentioned to him, the only links that'll need to be updated are links that were published and blogged about after the relaunch, because if they were before the relaunch, they were on the old domain, and those are already being redirected sort of naively to nrelabs.io anyway. So we're really not talking about a huge impact, I think, for that change. So yeah, basically that the new platform version, I'm at the moment, I'm just keeping stable. I'm not adding any more features to the platform at the moment. I'm just sort of fixing bugs as I see them. And the main way that I was finding bugs is by making the changes that I needed to make to the curriculum.
And Matt,
also done.
So you mentioned the PTR, and you adjusted also the version for self-medicate.
So yeah, you probably saw that. I forgot to add that to the agenda, but yeah, you're right. I also updated self-medicate so that it works with the latest changes. If you go to self-medicate right now, you will see I closed a few pull requests. There's still some open that I'm gonna look at. But yeah, my goal is to get this a little bit more stable, just so that we can kind of leave it in its current state. But yeah, the web SSH merged. That's all there. So yeah, if you run it now, it should work.
By the way, I tested it yesterday, and I filed an issue.
Oh, okay.
There was a problem somewhere on a web. So
interesting.
Some kind of I don't know. I wasn't sure where to go for hints on debugging, so I leave it to you to give me more hints, maybe.
That's bizarre. Okay, I'll take a look at this. Honestly, it's kind of bizarre. I will. Yeah, I'll take a look at this. Permission denied. Opening just the main index.html page. Okay. Okay, I'll take a look. One thing I will say is right now they're pointed at the latest version because there's no release. Once 0.6.0 is out, I will update this accordingly, and then we'll and then we'll be able to troubleshoot the same container image. Right now, I'm not sure what version, what at what point the code was when you grabbed this. Although, like I said,
or maybe what version it was when you tested it.
yeah, maybe, I don't know, but it still
The
doesn't explain.
latest on your side, but you didn't push it or something.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Maybe, but yeah. Regardless, the fact that it can't open this file is weird. It still doesn't explain that. But anyway, I'll take a look and see what's up. But yeah, things are going well. I'm going to use this week to sort of just continue to close things out. The only things, really, the big things for me this week remaining for everything are updates to the documentation. So that's there's a lot that has changed, and there's a lot that will change soon. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to update the docs accordingly. What'll happen is in the current version of the docs, we point to we have the process of effectively, this is basically still the first steps of copying a lesson from the directory and whatnot. So I'm obviously going to revamp that to include the new CLI tool. That's going to be the new first step, I think. And of course, I've got to add docs on how that works, which I already have partially because we used to have the SYRCTL tool. So part of that is still there, and that's part of the new tool as well. So part of that's still there, but obviously just need to add to it. So that's the main thing to change with the docs. I also want to update the architecture because that has changed as well a little bit with the back end. But previewing locally will still stay a first-class citizen because that's still the only solution we have for previewing content. And then I think the changes will be done once the preview service is available, and I'm going to be working on that after the release. I might consider moving the previewing locally portion to a sort of other resources because our recommended path for people who are just simply contributing to the NRE Labs curriculum will be through the hosted preview service. So we'll see. But no matter what, like I said, the resources we have today will still be there. Self-medicate will still be around. It'll just be deprioritized for certain use cases. Anything from you guys?
I have something if Olivier has nothing.
No, apart from testing the latest self-medicate, I didn't do much.
All right. Well, so my bit of news is that I'll be leaving Juniper on Friday, and I'll be announcing where I'm my new gig in a couple weeks. So I don't know that I will be directly in touch with NRE Labs in the future, although I can certainly nudge some of the partners that we've been talking to continue on. But it's been an absolute pleasure. Matt, of course. We've known each other for a long time, but it's been a real pleasure working with you, and Olivier. It's been nice getting to know you as well. So.
Yeah, well, congrats on the new gig, Lisa. We'll obviously thank you so much for everything you've done for the project. The work, I mean, the impact you've had will be felt forever. I think just the structure and all of the things that we've got going for us in terms of the community aspects. I think it's obvious the impact that you've had. So thank you for all of that. And this is a small industry. I'm sure we'll run into each other again. And I know where you're going, and I can tell you, and I can say that I'm excited because I know a lot of the people there too, and I'm nobody ever goes very far. I don't think.
So this is not a cheese shop, is it?
It is not a cheese shop. No.
Okay.
Although after we get off the call here, I'm going to try a new recipe for rebouchon. So.
Okay. Thanks a lot too.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Alrighty. Well, if anybody has anything else to think about or talk about, just let me know. Put it in next week's agenda. But yeah, thanks again, Lisa, for everything. We'll let you know how we do in the next few weeks and months.
All right. Sounds good. Take care, you guys.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks. See you.